welcome back to another episode under serious name Adversary Profiling. So, in first episode, we are discussing pyramid of adversary profiling with the pyramid of pain, and what's the differences and what's the pyramid of adversary profiling, how it can be useful for distribution of cyber campaign, identify threat actors, protecting critical infrastructures, industries, business, organization, networks, government from this from a cyber intrusion. So, in the second episode, we are discussing about the challenges or attribution challenges of profiling threat actors. So we are created a simple tables that contains all of the challenges that blue teams or security researcher or threat intelligence that they are facing or they are facing while conducting profiling of the specific threat groups. So actually, in this episode, we have another model. It's called diamond model. So what is a diamond model is? Diamond model is a cybersecurity framework that can be used for analysis cyber intrusion, not as tool. It's a framework, it's a model that can provide um, a wide range of the thoughts and mindset to profiling or analyzing a cyber intrusion. So the diamond model is focused on four main keys: infrastructure, adversary, victim, capability. So threat actor or hackers or cyber attackers is adversary, and also cyber intrusion and cyber attack, it's an incident. So when I say threat actors, so that's adversary. When I say cyber attack, it means cyber intrusion. Okay, just be aware of the terms. They are all same. Maybe they have some very teeny differences, but it cannot make any senses of differentiality for us at the moment. So adversary. So who is adversary actually, or who is threat actors? So actually, threat actor is a person or is a group that may be sponsored by a nation or by specific companies or by individual to conducting a cyber operation against targeted assets. So targeted asset in the diamond model is victim, and the victim could be system, users, industry, organization. So actually, we are start describing and defining diamond models from adversary. First of all, we are defining who is adversary actually in the simple language and in simple term. So actually, threat actors can be hired, or I mean, it can be mercenary. You can say that, and it have motivation, the intent. Why? When we are combining diamond model with a I mean with a pyramid of threat actor profiling, The motivation or intent is why. And it have a skill and have resources like APTs. So the motivation is divided into the different parties. Actually, maybe the motive is cyber espionage or sabotage or leaking data or distraction. That's for motive. And resources can be an information about the targeted system, individual users, organization, and industry. That's about resources. And the skills, it could be a tools. And the execution method, the attack method, the cyber intrusion, the cyber intrusion method that this threat actor is conducting during the cyber operation. So it's very important to us because actually each adversary, each threat actors need skills, intent, and resources. So without resources, maybe the skill is not be as lot of useful because actually you need a reconnaissance about the system, about the organization, about the industry, and so on. And you have to have skills to conducting reconnaissance. And also you have to have a motive to conducting the reconnaissance. So actually in this life, we are not doing anything without intent, without reason, without motive, even the charity. Because finally, doing this charity, I mean, is for humanity. And in this case, the humanity is a motive. And also, the capability is a very important for the cyber intrusion. We have to know what's the capability of the threat actors. Let us imagine like that. We have adversary 1, and the adversary 1 have skills, resources, motivation. But actually, these skills, this one, need capabilities because the victim, the targeted systems, individual users, organization, and industry, maybe they have endpoint protection softwares, EDRs, XDR, NDR, for critical infrastructure, air-gated network, or for individual users, organization, maybe they have EDR, NDR, HIDS, NIDS, IPS, IDS, firewall, and so on. So, this payload that adversary developed during reconnaissance and they relying on their own skills, it should need some capabilities. And the capabilities could be payload armoring, some payload self-defense. Okay? But actually, the malwares sometimes contain the exploiters. Maybe 1 day, n day, 0 day, or public exploiters actually that available maybe in the private market or maybe in the public exploit databases actually. So the capability of this payload that threat actor, or we can say between the two quotation adversary, developed without capability, maybe it doesn't achieve their own goals. Why? Because in the victim side, in the targeted asset side, they have security protection. As we mentioned it, if we make a scenario for critical infrastructures, they have a rapid network. For individual users, they may have um, antivirus protect. For organization, maybe they have EDR, NDR, firewalls, and so on. So with 8 capabilities, your payload can be even detected by traditional or pre-installed security product of the operation systems, or like a Windows Defender in Windows operation systems. That's why you need capabilities. So again, capabilities can be payload defense armoring. It could be the mechanism that payload itself operating, polymorphism, metaformic, packing, and defense vision, and so on. But actually, we have exploit kits. So actually, exploit kits, you can imagine like a portable software, or the software or the framework that contains custom exploits and can be used for red teaming or for the cyber operation. There are a lot of exploit kits in the past 2007, maybe like a black hole. Still, maybe there are some kind of the exploit kits is available in the surface web or available in the dark market too. And the phishing tools. So actually, this one is a delivery stage in the cyber kill chain model. They actually, maybe they try to use GoFish or EvilJinx. There are many, or using set toolkit from that's available on in old school's Backtrack or in any kind of penetration testing distribution system. So they need a way to dropping or forwarding, sending this I mean customized payload, developed payload with the motives and with the capabilities to victim, and actually from here to here, and it should be sent to individual users, or maybe into the back end of the target system. It could be this target system could be let's don't make a scenario with this system. So maybe for a back end through APIs, okay, and for mobile applications, so on. But mostly it's for users, because it's a users managing organization and industry and the target system. And actually, that's about capability. And let's try to move into the infrastructures. So actually, after the first stage, that threat actors have a motive skills resources and create a malwares and deliver through one of the phishing tools, maybe like by like a GoFish, okay, and to individual users that work on the system or organization and the industry. So actually, the adversary need infrastructures. So actually, the infrastructure could be command and control server, C2 or CNC, and command server, okay, and need a botnet. So actually, the adversary, if the victim or targeted asset is a targeted individual users, it doesn't need a botnet, because this botnet can be used for mining and maybe for DDoS, for TDoS, for DOS attack. But having a proxy network for some kind, um, covering the malicious traffickers like a DNS tunneling and using Tor networks, Tor service. It's make a sense, and of course, having a malicious domains to hosting additional payload and or to make a communication channel with the targeted asset, with the victim. But botnet in this case is not make a sense if the attack is for targeted individual users and persona. But if the cyber intrusion or the cyber incident or the cyber attack is designed for infecting randomly, it makes sense to have a botnet, because maybe in this case, if the attack, if the cyber intrusion motive is not cyber espionage or stealing data or leaking data, the botnet is make a sense. In other way, if not, it's not a make a sense in this side. And actually, just for a simple briefing, C2 is could be a specific framework or a malicious domains that make a communication channel between the adversary and the victim. So when the adversary is conducting installation in target system that done by clicking a phishing mail from the individual user, the adversary doesn't need more to interact with the individual user itself. So they start interacting with target system because the adversary have the capability to interact with the target system from command server and malicious domain by itself, because nowadays there are some kind of automated data collection by specific C2 or custom C2 that developed and created by specific adversary for their own motives. So last one is a victim, or we can say the target assets. So actually the victim, it could be target system, it could be individual users, it could be organization, and it could be the industry. Again and again and again, targeting each victim or each assets is not based on the infrastructure. It's based on the adversary motivation and threat actor description or personality. We have the fin group is that they are financially motivated to target the financial system and financial industry and financial organization. So remember, targeting the victim is depend on the motive or the intent or the adversary itself. If the motive to targeting individual users to get a personal data, it's a cyber espionage in the term in the digital battlefield in the cyberspace, but actually it's related to the adversary motive. Again, there are some reason or some intent that adversary have a motive to targeting a victim. Let's make some example. Adversary target system. The motive may be wiping, distraction, sabotage. The motivation is individual users to espionage and stealing personal or intellectual properties, or it could be for just like a random cyber attack. The motive, threat actor target organization, maybe the maybe threat actors target organization because the motive is hacktivist or leaking data, leaktivist, or maybe threat actor target the cargo industry, the maritime industry, because the motive could be distraction. Okay, so actually targeting from the adversary, it's a basic from the adversary, and especially threat actor type and the motive. Okay, so it's a main goal. So without motive, the adversary doesn't target a specific system, user, organization, industry by itself. And again, the capability of the payload is that designed and developed by adversary. It's based on the nature of the victim, maybe of the targeted asset is industry. They use a custom kind of exploiters or techniques to bypass air gapped network, or adversary develop malwares, and the capability is in the malware is defense evasion for the users, individual users, because the user maybe have antivirus product, firewalls, and so on. And again, the infrastructures designed by the nature of the victim too, and the motive of the adversary, and the as we mentioned, the capability of the payload itself. Again, it's based on the adversary motive and the nature and behavior of the targeted asset and victim. So actually, that's all about the diamond model. I hope you all learned something new. If you find this video is useful, please do not forget to like and share and subscribe.